Hey Bulldogs, Chris Bryant here. Got a CCNP switch and TSHOOT video practice exam for you, full metal inspection. Those of you who are looking toward the CCNA and or CCNP security tracks, what we're going to talk about, this type of inspection, is probably going to show up there as well. So while we need to know how to configure it, we also need to know exactly how it operates and if it has any prerequisites. So let's hit this question about dynamic ARP inspection. Which of the statements here listed are true? A. DHCP snooping must be enabled. B. Untrusted ports drop incoming frames unconditionally. C. Untrusted ports check incoming frames against a database of MAC to IP address mappings. D. Trusted ports perform that check that I just mentioned with the database of MAC to IP address mappings. And then finally, E. Trusted ports do not perform this check, nor do they drop frames. So there's a lot going on there. So if you want to pause the video for a moment and think about your answer, I think that's a great idea. But we're going to go ahead and go through those answers now. From top to bottom, A is actually true. You have to have DHCP snooping enabled first. And why? Because that's what creates the database of MAC to IP address mappings. Now when you look at the term untrusted ports, it's very easy to say, oh, well, an untrusted port, whether it be DHCP snooping or DAI or anything else, like port security maybe, if it's untrusted, so to speak, then we don't want any frames coming in on it. Well, with DAI, if it's an untrusted port, it's still going to let frames through. It's going to check them against that database of mappings I just talked about. So A and C are true. Don't fall for that thing where untrusted ports are just going to drop all frames unconditionally. That's not actually what happens. Now between D and E, E is true. A trusted port is not even going to perform that check. And of course a trusted port, as the name does imply, will not drop frames. So again, with DAI, DHCP snooping must be enabled. Untrusted ports are going to check incoming frames against a database of address mappings, and trusted ports aren't even going to perform that check, nor do they drop frames. They just let them fly on through. So that is today's video practice exam, and I will have other videos on dynamic ARP, especially for the security tracks as we go along. So you definitely want to check those out when you get the chance and when they're online. Thanks again, as always. I'm Chris Bryant, and thanks for making TBA part of your CCNP success story.